This is Dave Meltzer, the time hacker, here with Entrepreneurs, the Playbook, and I have the growth hacker, the founder of Growthly, and that's Justin Wu, and we are going to drop some bombs about what people really want to know about today. Used to be called in my day when I was up and living by you, internet marketing.
Yeah.
Today they got this growth hacking type of concept, but out of anyone that I've interviewed, I am most interested because I believe in monetization of things. I believe in profitability. I believe in quantitative value. And I believe what you do can provide the most value compared to anyone else for the future, because there's no bigger market than the 4.2 billion people around this earth and growing every day. And I don't think very many people know how to take advantage of and to create an attraction to that spectrum. I'm going to take a step back because getting into that business, you graduated the UW.
Actually did not graduate.
Oh, you didn't graduate. You dropped out.
Yeah.
Even better.
Dropped out.
Let's get there. So you dropped out of UW. What was that like to tell your parents you were dropping out?
I had to do it in a very slow way, actually. Graduate, switched to kind of an online university, and then just pretty much just dropped out. They're like, oh, never mind. They just kind of fell off the radar there.
Was it because you were making money?
Yeah, all through the internet. I was doing marketing for car dealerships as well as real estate, doing a lot of lead gen, SEO, and just a lot of data and content management for over 40 car dealerships in Washington State. And I was just making money. I was sitting in class bombing all my classes, but I was still closing deals.
Yeah.
While I was in there.
You know, I believe that because of technology, acceleration, growth of technology, that our major institutions in America are all changing.
Mm-hmm.
One of those that have the most key significance beyond our political and financial systems is our educational system. That we're taking the brightest minds like yours and putting them into a situation that's worthless. What's your perspective? You know, someone that graduated or left school in 13, right? 2013. So like 7 years ago. You know, what is your perspective of the educational system today?
I think that there is value there, especially if you're going into some very hard skill sets for like engineering, becoming a doctor. I would trust a doctor that went to school versus an internet doctor.
Yeah.
So it depends on like kind of like what path and course you want to go to. I did value my education in University of Washington. It's an amazing school, and I learned a lot there. I just think that the pricing of school just got overinflated just because of the student loans and the way that everything's structured. So I think that the prices need to come down to match the kind of reality and expectations on I think just the pricing of it is overinflated.
But I think also the course curriculum needs to change, right? They need
definitely
to have courses taught by you in growth hacking more than, you know, OChem or whatever else.
Yeah.
You know, like art history is great, but I would rather and prefer people be more interested in art history online and finding the art that they enjoy and learning about the art that they enjoy instead of someone standing in a lecture hall with 270 people putting up huge mosaics of Monet and talking about the water lily. And I'd much rather be online in a micro course with Justin Wu telling me how to create my brand and build my brand and monetize my brand.
Definitely. And I think that also, too, is just a lot of waste. They force you to take these classes that just is not relevant to what you need to do. And you have to spend like 2 years in prereqs. You only spend actually 2 years really in the degree and major that you're trying to get into, if you get into it as well, too. So, you know, I think it's definitely inefficient. And I think that for me, I was just like internet marketing, fintech, and all these other industries are just moving so fast. I was just learning it through both experience and just the internet that's available.
And how'd that affect your social life? One of my greater concerns I have 2 college daughters right now, and I literally am fine with them being there just for the social growth of being able to interact with others and learn a whole bunch of life lessons. Moreover than, you know, both are extremely Dean's List, great academic students, but I really don't give a shit. And I hope they're watching this because I don't care. I'd rather them learn how to unite and unify with people and to emotionally attach and to motivate people and inspire people. For you, what was your social life like, you know, leaving that huge environment into really a money-focused, micro-focused growth hackpreneur person?
Yeah, I mean, it was already isolating as is because especially like Seattle is a very tech-heavy city, but everybody is tech corporate. And so there wasn't even a lot of entrepreneurs in general in Seattle. So it was pretty much just me and a few other people. The startup scene was non-existent at that time. And so the challenge though was how do I go out and connect with other people that relate to me? And I wasn't able to do that locally. Things are changing now a little bit, but I found that for me, that's where I was started going all online on social media, like LinkedIn, Twitter, and just started to build my social contacts and interact with people. If I can't find them locally, I either find them online or just uproot myself and start traveling to other cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco and New York, where there are other people that are thinking like me and thinking of other amazing ideas, and I can go out and connect with there. So I think that for me, I found that when I grew up in Seattle, it was limiting, and I either could just stay there and just hit a wall, which I did for a little bit, and I decided to just like take my bags and just hop over and change my environment if the environment there wasn't fostering kind of the growth that I needed.
There's so much opportunity with what you do. It's applicable to every industry. It's growing every day. The Fortune 500 branded content is going to be soon, probably 90% of all marketing and advertising dollars will be put through branded content, which will require growth hacking in what you do. How do you choose which, client, which industry, which vertical, which product, which brand, whatever it may be, to work with in order to maximize what I assume is your objective, the revenue that you create?
Yeah, definitely. I think that for me, the main thing about growth hacking is going beyond just internet marketing and just marketing in general. Typically, marketing in the past has looked at very top of the funnel type of channels out there, and growth hacking really was born out of San Francisco, and it was a marrying a few different disciplines that usually used to not be there. It combined software and development, product, data science and data analytics with cognitive science, was like what people like, consumers' behaviors. If you think about it as in terms of like the Fortune, even like 500 or all these other top companies, those are all different departments and different silos. Nobody's talking to each other. The marketer thinks they're right. The engineers don't understand what consumer behavior is, and consumer always thinks they're right as well too. So there needs to be kind of a growth hacker or middle layer that understands development and product as well as customer needs and translates that into terms of the priority for the growth that's needed. So for me, I always like to find and work with products that have that product market fit in the market. They just don't know how to kind of accelerate or find the different channels that they are tapping into. So for me, I've always like to work with heavy, strong products first. And then once you can take a strong product, we can always iterate and grow from there and launch it out there. I don't really focus as much as like what channels we're going to go out first. So we focus on product.
And to that matter, me as an example, being a product now myself, right? This understanding and growth of personal brands as a product and utilizing a strategy, a growth hacking strategy of how do we take quality content, consistently promote that, and then transform it into a product. And the timing of that's different. So you have people like, the fat Jewish that will just build an $11 million audience and then go to them and ask them, what do you guys want to buy? And then create that product and sell it for $100 million, to people like Tony Robbins and others that are out there just selling a product immediately, masterminds and, sales kits and tools and books and videos or whatever they're selling, through a personal brand as a product. Where do you see the opportunity for a personal brand that utilize growth hacking?
Yeah, I think the opportunity, and I think that when we look at some of the personal brands out there, they haven't fully like productized themselves in sense of building like a full funnel of things to sell or capture. I guess the thing is they're not centralizing enough. Everybody's like focusing on personal, when they come to like social media and personal brands, they'll focus on the social channel itself. That's just top of the funnel. I think that you still need to just add the more core channels, like email marketing is still super strong. SMS and Facebook chat and Messenger is becoming even stronger just because the open rates and deliverability is insane as well. So I think that the next step to besides like for personal brands is to build up more of your other channels as well, to start centralizing your content distribution, and then go back out to all these other channels to essentially disseminate your content that's out there. And in terms of like monetization too, there's a lot of different opportunities in terms of once you're able to start centralizing all your community. Essentially, you can go into things from like affiliates to selling membership info products and just even collaborations as well. So there's a lot of different ways to kind of go out there. But again, like for me, I was thinking about building that inbound funnel first, and making sure that you're capturing all these different opportunities. And then from there, just content distribution on every other platform, so that you can kind of multiply your reach as well too.
Yeah, I love the multiple approach and the non-focused, meaning it's so easy to modify content from one platform to the next. You might as well have them all. And I'm a big fan of, community for me as a beta test site on the texting side of things, because the open rate is ridiculous. People are like, yeah, but you only have 100,000 of this. And I'm like, yeah, but, in the 20% open rate, that's like 20 million people.
Yeah.
Can do the math. It's so powerful. Beyond that, though, do you have any advice in the end, whether you're a product or a service or a personal brand, in the end, your content, right? Whether you're, the peanut butter dude dying, for, the peanut butter company, the Planters peanut guy dying, or, you're a phone company or you're Dave Meltzer as a personal brand. In the end, we all are just capturing, modifying, amplifying, and perpetuating our content.
Definitely.
What advice, works for the content? Because it seems, and I don't think it's a matter of analytics. I think it's a matter of frequency. And so I'd love to know from you, like, what do you look for in quality content, regardless of whether it's product, service, or personal?
Yeah, there's different approaches or thoughts in terms of it. For me, my approach is, I'd say just mastering, not focusing on the channels that you're going to distribute to. I think it's just mastering the mediums of whatever you're creating the content with. In this case, we're on the podcast. Just absolutely just crush podcast editing and audio and just do that very well. Or if you're doing video and you just do best in video, just master that out, because every other platform now has video. Every other platform has sound. So I think that once you're able to really master the medium very well, then distribution just becomes like super simple and getting the word out there. But in terms of like finding like what's good content, I'm always a person about like experimentation, and I always like sitting down and just like writing all these different story points, as I call them, or ideas and concepts. It's just essentially like it gives me templates to kind of just try out and see what's working and what's not working. But to me also too, it depends, like if you are looking about it in a very analytical approach, you can also just take a look at kind of Google Analytics, YouTube, Google traffic as well. You can kind of see what's trending out there, and you can actually go out and chase that data.
Well, I know in TikTok, right? That's part of the advantage.
Yeah.
And how smart TikTok is. They're literally begging you, saying, look, this is the hottest hashtag right
to follow
now.
through.
To follow through, right?
Yeah.
How important is consistency, right? The second piece of advice that I always get is, and this is in a traditional side too. I used to tell people it's the consistency, whether you're McDonald's, Coca-Cola, or a small.com. And I lived in the traditional era where the internet just boomed, right? When I started in this space of sales and marketing and branding. But consistency was always traditionally one of the most important things. How important is consistency today?
Oh, super important. Just because I always tell people when they're going out, when they're building a personal brand or even their company brand, you have to kind of treat yourself as a real channel. If you don't get to that point that you're consistently pushing out content and episodes regularly, then people are not going to treat your brand and your content seriously as well. But also too, you're just fighting for attention now. It's like if you're not consistent, your competitors or other businesses are pushing out more content every single day. They're getting more awareness, and they're also pushing potentially at 10 different channels versus you and trying to spend on just one channel. They just 10x your reach, and that's out there. So to me, consistency is the most important, and then quality of content is also just as important. But I think that can be built over time. I think just executing and getting out there, it will still beat not consistency and just like high. I see people people stuck in the process of trying to create the best content, and they only deliver one video a month. It could be absolutely the best, but I want to see more fire.
I think it's a big change. Is great advice. Yeah. One of the other things that to deal with is the blend of traditional with digital. And so, how important do you think it is that, you're seeing, I joke around, I have a few TV shows, on WGN, on Fox Sports, and some of the younger kids are like, why are you on TV, Dave? Nobody's watching that. And I said, here's why. And I think it's really important that I'm still on the front page of, the Times every once in a while, right? I'm still in the Entrepreneur magazine almost every month, featured in there for something. It's not because there's more eyeballs watching the TV show or watching the magazine or the newspaper. It's being able to capture the traditional side because it's still exciting. There's kids that don't even have TVs, right? They have no cable.
Yeah.
But when they find out, oh my God, you're on Fox Sports, they'll never watch it on Fox Sports.
Yeah.
But
they
it adds
understand
the credibility.
Yeah.
Where do you see that blend today, and where do you see it going?
Yeah, I think it's going to continue to grow, but obviously everything is a lot of publications, and everybody's kind of gravitating towards online distribution and online content now. But I think that there's still a strong amount of people. There's a lot of people still listening to radio. There's people still watching TV. Even though it's very fragmented out there, I think that it's still a worth channel to what I call stacking growth. Is you just want to hit all these different channels and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I personally would never ever discount any channel out there as long as there's still viewers and audience. And like you said, even if not every single person's going to actually watch that video at that time, you can still take that content and distribute it to your own audiences. You took that, let's say you go on Fox, you can take that Fox clip and share it on your emails. You can share it on your retargeting ads. You can use that as a moment that did happen to give you that credibility to then leverage it even further as well too. So it's definitely worth getting onto all these other different platforms as well, as long as the audience and the context of that matches kind of like your business needs and community.
Well, Justin, you've given incredible advice and insight. I'd be amiss if I didn't ask you, as the growth hacker, as the man, what is the best growth hacking advice that you can give me with my personal brand?
The best growth hacking advice? For me, I would say is the best growth hacking advice would be a lot more, I guess, collaborations. I think collaborations is key. There's a lot of other different content creators out there, especially on different channels or different audiences, and you're already doing that through hosting. I would say that it would be to kind of go out and co-create some more other pieces of content on their mediums, like let's say on TikTok.
Yeah.
Go on TikTok and go into their platforms, and then you'll start carving out and building up new audiences. Another growth hack for personal brands is localization. Taking your content, translating it to Chinese, Spanish, India.
Great advice.
There's I think that's what we miss about, especially being in kind of like the Western countries, is that we have potentially access to education, whether it be universities and other influencers, right? But all these other countries are developing. They're moving fast. 5G is coming as well too. They are able to start consuming content, but they don't have those local influencers or content thought leaders that's out there, and they don't fully understand English as well too. So that becomes like a huge opportunity. There's billions of people in India. They all want.
You're making me feel really good because I just got back from India.
Yeah, so I just
China
got there too.
India, I didn't get back from China. Don't get scared.
Yeah, so like LATAM as well, LATAM countries as well. Yeah. So for me, like I'm finding a lot more opportunities there, where there's not a lot of competition, and there's a huge arbitrage opportunities to educate and share this knowledge that you have and with the guests and other people into these other locations. And you're just going to see the reach just even take more fire, because you might be the dominant brand in that country now because you have all these amazing guests and content people.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. And it beats the advice I got last night from Mike Studd, who told me, try to let everybody know how cool you are. I'll do that as well, but yours is much easier. I'll just go to India and post my content there. With Eros Entertainment, that's right, Kishore, Eros Entertainment's going to post all my stuff up there in India, the leaders in entertainment. Anyway, Justin, it's been a pleasure. Your information is invaluable. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. One of the best growth hackers in the world, Justin Wu here, CEO, by the way, and founder of Growthly. This is Dave Meltzer, the time hacker, here with Entrepreneurs, the Playbook.